Hi, welcome to E-Money and the Boys. I'm your host, E-Money, again, with no boys today. We're going to do another comic haul video. This one I picked up at my local discount comic store. I had another small collection he had bought and had brought in this week. Some interesting things, some really cool stuff, partially for my collection, partially for some speculation stuff. We'll get right to it. There was a full long box of new Teen Titans, and if you've watched the channel or any of the comic videos, you know the Teen Titans are what got me into collecting. And I have most everything, except for the newer stuff. I didn't care for the new 52 stuff or any of that kind of jazz. And I couldn't remember if this particular issue I had, or I don't think that there's omnibuses for these yet. And to be quite honest, I wanted to read this and didn't feel like going through a long box. And for $1, I picked up an extra copy. Plus, Danny Chase. Got to read that to remember why I hated him so much when he first came in. So, next one. Again, for $1, the first appearance of, Troya. I don't know I never knew how to say that. Minor keys, minor first appearances, especially for $1 or $2. I'll always pick up stuff like this. Plus, it's just a cool cover. So, what do you call it? It's George Perez. And unfortunately, I can't read this second name, but it's a la Nick Cardy. So, this is the George Perez, and that's the a la Nick Cardy. So, again, cool book. Perez art in there. Can't not pick it up at that price. So then, I think this was the actual last Teen Titans series that I read. Might be because I'm getting to be an older gentleman, but they just don't. It just doesn't appeal to me as it used to. But Jeff Johns wrote this series. This was an excellent series. He must have already sold it before I had gotten there. So I couldn't grab the first appearance of Miss Martian, but I got the first cover appearance. That was $3. And then, I don't know, I've been hearing rumblings about this book. So I picked it up. First appearance of the Riddler's daughter, Enigma. First cover and appearance of Enigma. So I snagged that. I remember Titans East. I remember I liked that storyline a lot. I know I had gotten rid of my issues because I graphic noveled everything. I got rid of most of my singles at one point and graphic noveled everything just because it's so much easier to read when you want to read. And now I'm way over buying single issues of comics. So that worked out really well in my favor. Let's see. So he had a little run of Teen Titans Go. And I think with the exception of 1 or 2 issues, these were 75 cents a piece. So this series at 75 cents a piece, I'll buy them all day. Looked like most of the keys, the high-end keys, Red X was gone. Issues 1 to 4 were gone. I don't know if I didn't ask. He's a really nice guy, and we talk a whole lot. But I didn't bother asking because he said he had just been buying so many collections lately. I wasn't even sure if he'd remember if he had Teen Titans Go 1 to 4. I went and checked the boxes where he has everything sorted, and there wasn't anything extra in there. There was nothing extra in the kids' boxes, so I just grabbed this. I grabbed issue 5. He had issue 11, and it was funny because I remember Tara from back in the day. I never noticed that they did a tattoo on her leg in the Teen Titans Go series. So, I don't know. That was of interest to me. Might not be to anybody else but me. This is the first Quiz Kid and the first Killer Moth's daughter, Kitten. Also, I thought it was an awesome Robin cover. So, I gave him $4 for that. I don't see it holding value or being huge, but I don't know. Since he sold me the other ones for 75 cents, sometimes I don't mind paying a little bit extra for a book that might be a minor key at some point. I grabbed issue 24. It's the one where they switch powers. 25, the Christmas special. Thought that was neat looking. 26. And 32. And that was all the different issue numbers. He had multiples of the Christmas special, and there was one or two other ones that he had multiples of. So I grabbed this because I haven't seen it make it onto the list of any Bad Batch, but that pretty much looks like Tech and Wrecker and Hunter. I know it would be Scar Squadron in this, but this has not popped up on any lists anywhere or anything. And for $2, there's Crosshair and maybe Echo. I don't know. But for $2, I'll spec on that. And if you haven't watched the show, check it out. It was really, really good. And I missed the last couple of seasons of Clone Wars. I just got lazy on watching it. You would think that I've been home the entire pandemic and I would have gotten around to finishing it. Spoiler alert, I have not. There's some Dark Wolverine, Dakin. And this was his first solo series. So again, for whatever half cover price is, $2. I grabbed the number 1. And then he had 2 of the 3 issues where him and Weapon X meet. And this is personal for me because I love the Taskmaster. I've loved him since I first found him in the Avengers back in the day. Just an awesome character. Can't wait to see what they do with him and or her in the new Black Widow movie. But that looked interesting, so I snagged that. This is a minor key, which I didn't realize at the time. I actually grabbed it because the Art Adams art. I like Warlock. I'm not a big New Mutants fan. I could care less about Wolvesbane and most of the other characters. Cannonball doesn't interest me. Sunspot, none of that. But Magic has grown on me in the last few years from the few X-Men books that I've read. Always thought Warlock was an interesting character. This is an Asgardian storyline. You can tell by Thor's hammer there. And Danny Moonstar becomes a Valkyrie in this issue. So, I don't know. Thought it was cool. And again, those aren't his prices. It was like $1 or $2. I forget exactly. Maybe $1.25. Sometimes he just charges by how old the book is. So I get 70s stuff anywhere from $1.25 to $3.50. And I've gotten some really decent books that way. I wish I'd started doing the comic hauls a little bit sooner so you could have seen some of the really cool Avengers and stuff that I got. And I could probably go dig them out, but lucky I have time to do this right now. But so this is the first Venom Iron Man confrontation. I don't think I've ever owned it. I know I've seen the cover, and I know back in the day, I think I was between jobs, and I don't really care that much for Iron Man, but I know I never owned the issue, so I snagged that. These were in one of the first boxes. There was a box full of $20.99. But no, and I know he hadn't gone through them because the boxes were jam-packed to the point where I had to take a stack out so that I could flip through. And I haven't speculated on $20.99 or anything, but I saw the last issue of X-Men $20.99, so I thought that was relatively cool, so I picked that up. And the final issue of Doctor Doom So I picked that up. Then, excuse me, since Echo has been going crazy, um, I think I only have the trade. I know I don't have the single issues. He had issue 12 sitting in there with Echo on the cover, which is fourth, fifth appearance of the character. 10, 11, 12. Yeah, this would probably be about the fourth appearance of the character. And for $1.50, I figured I'd snag that. And I had read that they did an origin mini-series within Daredevil. Oop, don't slide on me. Don't do it. So it was issues 51 to 55. So these were all $1.50 a piece. So we had 51, 52, and then 54 and 55. For whatever reason, I haven't done enough research to know why issue 53 is at the price that it's at. But I'll probably just trade paperback this to get it. But I figured once people realize that, whoa, sorry about that, that 53 is the middle of a story, the rest of these will be something at some point. Doctor Strange, again, $1.25. Scarlet Witch, Monica Rambeau. I think I said her name right. Look at that. Darkhold. He didn't have 61, which was weird, but that's the Darkhold's connection to vampires, and he didn't have the Doctor Strange vs. Dracula issue. But I figured this hit some key spots with Scarlet and Captain Marvel, so I snagged that. I snagged another issue of this character here, his first appearance. And I know the character's name. I cannot say the character's name. So, again, rumor has it he's going to be in Doctor Strange 2. So I snagged that. I looked through his Invincible books, and they were all well over issue 100. But he had script book number 1, so I figured I watched the series. I know I had read some of the comics when they first came out, and just to check the script book, see what it's like. Actually, it collects the entire scripts from Invincible 1 to 6. So I figured I'd check that out, see how it compares to the TV show. Again, if you haven't watched that, snag Prime, because it's between this and The Boys, it's well worth checking out. This was $1.50, and it's, I think, sitting at $18, but it's when Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, becomes Photon. So I saw that and I grabbed that. I grabbed this for the Adam Hughes cover. I did not have that one, and thought that looked good, so I snagged that. Wonder Man's first solo saga. He's going to eventually show up, and I think that this is undervalued. So, and I honestly, for as undervalued and as not in high demand as I would expect, you don't see it that often. I used to see it in 50-cent bins and stuff all the time, and I haven't seen one in years, so I also haven't really looked for one. But I picked that up. I picked up a little run of Cable and Deadpool. I don't know why I keep buying Deadpool, but I do. Mostly because it was early. So I got 5, I got 6, I got 11. Mostly because that's a cool cover and I like Domino a lot. 12. 13. Mostly because I'd never seen this particular book. And figured if I'm buying a bunch of issues, might as well. And then there was a huge gap and one issue of a Scotty Young cover. So early Scotty Young, 2005 or 6. I can't tell what that is. 6, 2006. So, snagged those. Picked up another copy of Kid Omega's first appearance. That, for some reason, seems to be going up in value. I don't know why. I haven't heard anything, but people are specking on him. So, I think that was like $5. Oh, I did these backwards. So, I picked this up. I know I have a copy. This one will be going to Maxwell. I also did not pay. His Scotty Young covers are $2.50 a piece, unless they're one of the rarer ones that are actually worth more than they're more, but not a crazy amount. So I picked this up because I had also picked up, as I had gotten rid of my issues early on, and I needed another copy of this. I don't know if it's going to go on my wall or if it's going to go on my spin rack, but it's going somewhere, probably next to the Scotty Young cover, because, again, one of my all-time favorite covers. So that's this week's haul. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave us a like or a subscribe. If you feel like it, if you want to leave us a comment, I know we've been getting some more comments lately, and we appreciate it. Tell me what your favorite booking lot is. Let me know if you have a cool place near you that, sells you some cheap comics. Tell me what comics you collect. Hell, tell me if you got a comic book channel. I'll check it out. Tell me if you got a channel where you open up cards. We'll check it out. We'd love to hear from you, and hopefully we will. But that's it for today, and we will see you next time. As always, have a great day.